What is going on out there in La La Land? It's Drummer John along with the Brothers of Discussion, Will and Grayson, here for another exciting, action-packed, in-your-face episode of Post to Post Wrestling, your favorite wrestling podcast that you never knew about. And nobody else knows about, too, so you're not alone in that regard. We got about 12 fans, and we love every one of them. What's going on, fellas?
Yo. We doing. We doing.
We're catching up. We're playing catch up. We took last week off. We had some birthdays in the house. Let's talk about some wrestling.
Yeah. So, apparently there's been a women tag tourney going on.
Yes, the deadly draw over in AEW. And it's had some pretty interesting matches so far. And it comes on Monday nights.
You're a Monday
7 o'clock Eastern. So, Monday night. And it's been pretty good. They've had some interesting matchups on it so far.
Do tell. I've as I or was that during the first part? Well, tell us all about it, because over the past week or so, I have been mighty busy and haven't had a moment to watch any wrestling, which makes me sad. But
okay, well, last week, week one of the tournament, we saw the Nightmare Sisters versus Christ. I can't even remember who. Do you remember, Grayson?
I just remember it was like Nyla Rose and the former Funkadactyl when they lost. Obviously, that was going to happen. And I think that was the Evilise Diamante, or was that the Anna J team?
No, that was the Anna J and the Christ, who the hell was her partner?
I saw it and I do not remember. I saw it posted on.
I cannot.
I remember.
But regardless, Anna J and her mystery partner, they won.
Is her mystery partner going to join the Dark Order?
No, definitely not. When you hear who it is, you'll be like, oh yeah, but that's not happening.
But then it was Evilise and Diamante versus, I think, was it the Big Swole and someone else match?
And Lil Swole.
Yeah. And
but Big Swole and Lil Swole won. Big Swole and Lil Swole was versus Rachel Ellering and Dasha Fuentes.
Yeah, that's right. That was the left bracket. Yeah, so they went on, and then they're out now, because I think the finals are the Nightmare Sisters and Evilise and Diamante, ultimately. So, I don't know who would win, unless, like, this is when they finally do the big bunny turn or something. I don't know.
To be the time for it, really.
The Anna J's partner was Ted Conti, who used to be Tenari Conti over in NXT. She's a Brazilian fighter. So we still got the semifinals, which will have Brandy Rhodes and Allie, the Nightmare Sisters, versus Big Swole and Lil Swole. Lil Swole, her real name is Nicole Savoy. They beat Leva Bates and Rache Chanel.
That's right. Yeah.
Penelope Ford and Nell.
Oh, okay. So they got a gimme.
Yeah. So that's
They got a gimme.
But it's been entertaining. The bracket buster was definitely Nyla Rose getting put out in the first with her partner Ariane Andrew.
Yeah, the way they set that up and how much she bitched when it happened kind of gave it away that they probably weren't going to be long for the tournament.
Yeah, they went out real quick in that first round. And I see now why they brought in Ariane Andrews to take the pinfall.
Yeah.
That's the only reason that woman was there.
Mm-hmm.
No, it wasn't her extreme vast amount of talent.
Talent? What?
Yeah, man. She is so talented. You not remember when she was a Funkadactyl with Naomi?
I do not at all.
It was crazy. She was the best. She was on Total Divas for a season.
A season? Man, she definitely went past her shelf life.
In the business.
The business.
We're still talking about it today.
Technically, they are, because we are right now.
Exactly.
Damn.
But yeah, so hopefully that's the end of that.
Fingers crossed.
I'm not a big fan at all. I've never been. So, yeah.
You don't want her coming back full time?
I will not repeat the sentiment I made. There's no more.
You clicked out for a minute, so I wasn't able to hear
I
your
did not
sentiment.
know. If that's the case, yes, I am done. I said good day.
I said good day, sir.
I said good day. It's been kind of a slow week all around when it comes to, at least this last week of wrestling stuff. Not too much. In AEW, we had Darby Allin and his wife are going through a divorce. That was new and noteworthy.
Surprising, I guess.
Yeah, it kind of came out of left field, but I mean,
it's like I'm both surprised and not surprised by that. I really am.
Yes,
But
but it seems pretty mutual. It seems they're doing it fairly clean.
Yeah.
So far. It always starts clean and gets real dirty real quick sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it looks like she's stepping away from AEW because of it. Because she did wrestle for a little bit with AEW, but from the statement that she made.
I was gonna say, didn't she just get signed?
I don't think she ever got signed.
I thought she just got signed, or was it just like she made a debut match and did a few things, and then
She did a few things. She was in the women's battle royal and had a couple matches on Dark, I think. But
okay, I for some reason I thought she had gotten like a Wii contract, but I guess it was
that's
just
what I know of. But I could be wrong.
I mean, I'm probably misremembering it. It's just I remember us talking about her and AEW a while back.
I just remember us talking about her period spot, and I thought it was hilarious, and then had to go immediately watch it.
Yes.
Against a woman named Fish.
Yes.
Or Tuna.
Tuna,
yes. Tuna.
I'm sorry. So many people got upset by that spot, but I loved it. If you don't have if you guys out there haven't seen it and want to check it out, look up Priscilla. What the hell's her name again? Priscilla Kelly versus Tuna in a bar match, and yeah, you'll see what we're talking about, and then you'll thoroughly vomit afterwards.
It was definitely not anything one would consider tasteless by any stretch, or tasteful by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, it is not suitable for work.
No.
What else we got going on in the world of AEW?
Apparently Pineapple Pete has said he is on his way out the door already. He said he's tired of sitting around waiting for things to happen. He's got his phone on, but he's not waiting for a call.
Well, that sucks that they're letting him go. I mean, he was entertaining. I like the guy. He could work on his physique a little bit, but as far as his in-ring talent goes, he was solid. And he took a shitty nickname from Chris Jericho and ran with it.
Yep.
And got merchandise and got over with the people in attendance. It's just
I think I enjoyed it. Pineapple Pete was a great nickname.
I think he is definitely a casualty of the Rona. If the Rona was not going on and there were actual wrestling events and people, I think his appeal is with the fans, so much so that if he were in front of fans, I don't think that he'd be getting released right now.
No, I would almost 100% agree with that sentiment. It seems like just collateral damage more than anything. Is like he had a moment right there at the beginning before things really got extra silly. I mean, he was part of the earlier like no fan matches, if memory serves. But that shit can only go on for so long, and it's gone on for too long for his shelf life, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And just to say it again, that is wholly unfortunate because I was all about it. I was hyped on Pineapple Pete, and I hope it's just like one of those temporary and he comes back type of deals. I don't want Pineapple Pete to be gone forever.
That would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, good luck to you, Shook D, Pineapple Pete, wherever you are, whatever you got going on. Hope it works out for you. But hopefully we see you back in AEW.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, don't go to the big boys. Stay with these up and coming big boys, because if you go anywhere else, they're gonna bury you. They're gonna bury you bad. It's gonna be rough.
Especially if it has the letters WWE.
Yes.
Number 9, we saw a guy in the 6-man tag match last week called Number 9. For anybody who watched it and didn't know, he was the guy wearing the long sleeve dress shirt, the black long sleeve dress shirt. Rumor is that Brandon Cutler is under the mask. Not that he's joining Dark Order, but that he is underneath the Number 9 mask. I don't think he's going to join Dark Order. His tag team just got a name. They just got merchandise, and hopefully they'll get a win sometime soon against the Young Bucks.
What name did they get?
The Initiative.
Well,
we talked about that 2 weeks ago.
That's not a bad name. I don't remember everything. Fuck. Come on. But
I thought you were cool.
So what?
I thought you were cool.
Man, it's
subpar at best.
It's fucking day by day. I agree with that, and that is factual. And I'm all for them making nerdy references like that. Keep it going. Please continue, Taz.
They need to get a win. They need something.
I agree. Brandon Cutler's been, riding the pine for too long. I want to see him get a W finally.
I've actually, if you remember 7-8 months ago, a year ago, I made mention about Brandon Cutler. Wasn't a fan. Couldn't get into him, whatever. I dig him now. I like his in-ring work. Even this Dungeon Master persona that he's got going on, it grew on me. He turned me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Listen to that. I like Brandon Cutler got a convert.
Mm-hmm. I'm digging on you, brother.
I seen him there that first night at the first Dynamite. I was like, I like it. I mean, granted, I shit you not, he botched something and fucked his ankle up that night. But he kept rolling and played it off pretty well. But yeah, I liked it. I liked his gimmick. I like it when any performer kind of puts some of their real life interests into things. Mm-hmm. Just it kind of endears me a bit more towards them. I mean, look at CM Punk and all his G.I. Joe related stuff. He's got the giant Cobra tattoo, and then he had the G.I. Joe ring gear that one time.
He had the Arashikage tattoo on his forearm, too, but he always taped up over it.
Yeah.
Look at Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes has a Triforce tattoo on him somewhere, and he used to have Triforce ring gear from Legend of Zelda.
Yeah, I remember his... he did a Legend of Zelda themed ring attire just before the dissolution of that era of Bullet Club.
Mm-hmm. He was doing it in WWE also. Mm-hmm. He would wear it, but it was never really talked about or anything like that. But yeah, he had. I want to say there was a figure. No, there was a custom figure. I remember now.
I guarantee you it was a custom. WWE wouldn't have released anything that had any possibility of being infringing copyright. Yeah.
Yeah, because Nintendo would have been all over that.
As we're moving on, we know we're coming up on the big Darby versus Jericho 2, but
Happened last week.
The second one? You said I thought that was the debate.
No, Mox versus Darby was last week.
No, Darby versus Jericho.
Oh, Darby versus Jericho. No, Orange versus Jericho.
I'm sorry. I don't know why I said Darby. I meant Orange. My fault.
So there's some people that are concerned about Darby. Now you got me saying Darby.
I know, right?
There's a lot of people who are concerned about Orange Cassidy versus Chris Jericho 2 because Fozzy is playing shows. They're up in Sturgis rocking out, and people at the shows are not practicing social distancing.
Oh, I mean, I was listening to an episode of Talk is Jericho from early last week. Early last week. And he was talking about how, we're doing live shows, we're going to make sure we're wearing masks, we're going to make sure that we're social distancing and all this other shit. I was like, man, those fans are going to do a fucking thing except go wild as soon as you start playing. That's some bullshit. That's the first thing that came to my mind. It's like, you are so full of shit right now. You're just going for a payday, and that's all that's going to happen. I was like, you guys might do that backstage and shit, but once you get out there, fuck no. And especially being in Sturgis, no offense to John, you're one of the better types of biker, but all those redneck motherfuckers that ride their bikes out there every year that have more money than sense are dirty-ass scumfucks. And I guarantee you, they're not doing anything.
Except for anyone who will literally try and find us. You are lovely people.
That's awesome.
They're cliche bikers. That's what they are.
As long as none of them give him fucking the Rona to Jericho, because there's nothing in between the audience and Jericho. People not wearing face masks, and all it takes is one drunk ass dumbass with the Rona to sneeze in the crowd, and there you go. You got 4,000 people with that Rona.
Mm-hmm. And it was a fucking stupid idea. Let's put it that way. Fucking stupid. I mean, hell, I want to go to.
I got a lot of friends there.
I want to go to goddamn live shows real bad. I do. I miss them. But you know what I don't want to do? Be around a bunch of sick douchebags that like to pretend that they're not sick and go to shows and ruin it for fucking everyone.
Yes. Or not know they're sick because they're asymptomatic.
There's also that. You
gotta knock out both sides.
You gotta cover the spread.
Yeah.
Cover the spread. Fingers crossed that nothing stupid happens and we do get Orange versus Jericho round 2, because I believe that they'll give Orange the W on that one. I do.
Set up the trifecta.
Yeah, they'll have to. No one ever gets a decisive win, truly. Especially if it's one of those, I guess let's call it a brand enhancement match. Cassidy was super over, but with the assistance of Jericho, Cassidy is now even more over than before.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I don't know that he necessarily needed Jericho to get over as much as he did. That man has got a following. Like, he is loved.
Oh, I know.
everywhere.
It's not like he needed it, but it didn't hurt him to get it.
Oh, not at all. He got that low rub.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it helped tremendously. It bumped him way, way up. So, that's what I think. They're going to kind of do the trade back and forth 1-to-1, and then there's going to be like a be-all, end-all type of match at the end of everything, or possibly they'll fast-track it and make it all out, unless, either someone comes down with the Rona and they have to play it safe, or they decide not to, really.
Well, what they should do is a Stadium Stampede match with Best Friends and Orange versus Sammy G, Jake Hager, and Jericho.
That would probably be the best way. That way, nobody loses definitively, and everyone looks good. Yet, Cassidy could get a decisive win without truly making Jericho look bad. You know.
Mm-hmm. Well, we said his name, so we got to talk about him. Sammy Guevara, Sammy G, injuring Matt Hardy last week.
I saw the clips.
Blood squirt.
I saw the clips. I was like, holy shit, that did not look like it was planned.
No. There was supposed to be a folding chair over there. Sammy couldn't find it, panicked a little bit, just grabbed the chair and hurled it at fucking Matt's head. And yeah, that was Peter.
Rough stuff. Let's put it that way. Rough fucking stuff. Because I was watching, I saw Matt's hands go up in the usual block of chair fashion, and the top of that chair just threaded the fucking needle. Cranked his ass right in the dome. I was just like, ooh. You were not meant to take that shot to the face.
That's not a good look on him. He didn't even make it to the back before he started getting his ass reamed out by wrestlers and stuff. Like, that's not a good look on him, especially just coming back.
No. I mean, the show must go on, but at the same time, don't rush the spot. Find the right tool and do it. Yeah. Matt's been in the biz long enough. He knows how to kind of milk for time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Run over a little bit if you gotta, but don't fucking do anything reckless that's going to injure somebody.
Rookie mistake. I mean, he's only been in the business 4 or 5 years. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's something we'll see from him again. If we do, that shit is intentional.
Yeah.
But it's just not a good look on him just coming back from suspension for wanting to rape Sasha.
Yeah, for inflammatory comments.
Yeah. Speaking of inflammatory comments, Excalibur should be returning to the broadcast team this week, August 12th.
That's good. I just like when they announced it, I said that they were probably going to do the same shit they did with Sammy, and sure enough, like the next episode, Taz was in the booth with everybody. I was like, yep.
No mention. They said nothing about why.
I know. They're like, we'll keep this one low because we don't need any weird backlash or issues, I guess. And it's Excalibur. He's a commentator, not a performer. So
he was when he was making those comments, but again, totally in character. It's honestly, I mean, whoever's writing the promo or him doing his own promo work and stuff like that, somebody's giving him directions on what to say. We want you to cut a promo, don't hold anything back, blah, 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 whatever. And to penalize him for taking creative direction from someone else, bullshit. I don't agree at all.
It's no good, but upshot, it seems like he's done his time and he will be back.
Hopefully. I don't like him as much as I like people dogging on him. I love hearing Jericho dog on him. I love hearing Taz dog on him.
He's a good foil for them to play off of. That's what I like about him. He's good in that regard. I don't really see anyone like truly hating on him. You know what I mean? It's all done in almost like the playful, what the hell are you even talking about sort of fashion, you know what I mean?
Willis.
Fuck you talking about, Willis?
Talk about Willis.
Shut your damn mouth. I'm a big fan of Excalibur. I like his ways. I do. If they're going to give Sammy a fair shake, they deserve to give Excalibur a fair shake as well.
Well, I thought I saw something about Excalibur coming back.
Yeah, he'll be back this week.
Yeah.
If all goes.
He's one of their best. He's, one of the top 3 commentators, so he should.
Top 3, not exactly the deepest,
out of 4?
not exactly the deepest talent pool to pull from, but yeah. Other things, what's all this about AEW piping in sounds finally kind of coming to light?
Yeah, supposedly last week during Dynamite, they were piping in crowd noise just to make it sound a little bit louder. But I mean, you can tell the genuine crowd noise. The reason that they did it also is because they're having less people in the crowd. Also, they're
playing
downsizing.
it safe.
Yeah, they're playing it safer, which is why Pineapple Pete wasn't there this week.
Gotcha. They're worried about it spiking through their stuff again, since it's spiking in a lot of areas, especially fucking Florida.
Florida.
Fucking Florida. Yeah, I was surprised to hear that.
Wrestling fans will notice. I mean, you can't get away with shit.
Yeah, we notice a lot of stuff, surprisingly. And
The only other bit of AEW news that I want to bring up is the AEW figures. We're going into toys.
Yes.
Because I can't find them motherfuckers anywhere. And for anybody listening to this podcast wondering what the hell all that noise is in the background, sounds like popping corn, that's our boy Will unpackaging his AEW figures.
Yes, I was trying to be quiet about it. I just opened Nick Jackson's figure while I was sitting here. I will go ahead and tell everyone, if you haven't already found one, when you do find them, get them. They're great. But also know that that box is not like WWE Elite box. They are on a blister card attached to the backside of the box. They are glued in, like the way the plastic is. It is glued on. You have to tear it open to get to the figure. There's no cutting some glue and sliding it out and doing that sort of repacking. You have to tear this bitch open. So these are like damn near repacker-proof packaging.
Nice.
So if you see someone who, or if you see a repacked AEW box, 1, it's either going to be torn to shit. 2, somebody fucking put in work to make that shit go that route. And kudos to whoever put in that sort of effort, because it sure as fuck isn't worth it to save fucking $20, because these figures are totally worth $20.
Yeah, I need to find them. They're not anywhere out here. None of the friggin' Walmarts out here. And I got 7 Walmarts in my town. None of them have them.
Yeah,
They got the pegs for them. They got the ring. They've got the belt. But they don't have the figures.
I've seen the ring and the belt as well, but that is all I've seen. That's it. I will say I hope that they come with some more alternate hands, because Matt and Nick only come with the closed fist hands. There's no extra hands there, but they do come with a legit, like, little, like, they're based on that Double or Nothing gear from the very first Double or Nothing. So they're in their Elvis impersonator gear.
Yeah.
And it is all, like, that jacket is a 100% sewn soft goods jacket with, like, either, I think the one part might be a vinyl print of some sort, but it is very, very well done. Very well done for scale clothing. Other figure news, it's still damn near impossible to find the WWE Masters of the Universe crossover figures. The newer waves I have not seen any of them yet. Online, they sell out as soon as they show up. In stores, they never show up.
There's some out here. I've seen some of those in the Walmarts out here. I've seen Rey Mysterio, Baker, John Cena.
Yeah, I got Mysterio over the weekend. The only 2 I found to buy in the stores that I would have wanted to buy, I bought Finn Balor and I bought Rey Mysterio. I haven't seen the Macho Man one, which I want, and I haven't seen any of the most recent waves. All I've seen, other than Mysterio and Balor, are, oh yeah, I want the Ultimate Warrior one too. But all I've seen other than them is the Roman Reigns and figure John Cena and Triple H. And none of those in the same place. All of them spread across different Walmarts across 2 states, maybe 3 states. Pretty slim pickings in that regard. In terms of the toys, to go back to it and hype it back up, one of the big reasons I think everything's happening is, like, certain areas, their distribution's a little more fucked from Corona and all its bullshit, and they haven't gotten things in. Like, certain areas, especially the West Coast and the Midwest, they've been seeing a lot more, like, new stuff. Here on the East Coast, I went into Walmart today. There might be, in total, 20 pegs out of that entire aisle that had stuff on them. 20. And the only...
Yeah, they are very light.
The only brands that had anything hanging were the Batman figures that fucking no one buys, the Five Nights at Freddy's figures that fucking... I know I sure as hell don't know anyone that buys them. And then a smattering of other things. That's it. Just odds and ends. They had 0 WWE figures, 0 of the Masters of the Universe classics or WWE crossover ones. They had none of the new G.I. Joes. They had 0 Marvel Legends. Nothing that I look for collection-wise. Fucking nothing. It was crazy. I've not seen a toy aisle that empty outside of, let's say, like, a fucking Christmas Eve. And don't even try to find them online because you won't. Unless you want to go to damn eBay and spend 3 or 4 times what they're worth. Because the scalpers, God, they're bad this year. On a less fun note in regards to the AEW stuff, back when all the pre-orders were happening, I pre-ordered the limited, like, Jericho little bit of the bubbly figure. That is the only package this summer out of all the things that were delivered to my house while I was on vacation that is missing. The only one.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm pretty fucking annoyed, to put it lightly. It might not sound like it in my voice, but yeah, I'm pretty fucking annoyed. Whoever stole it, if that's the case, I'm hoping that maybe it was not the case. But the co-workers of ours that we had come by to, like, hit the yard once and pick up any packages that were delivered to the house a couple times, they gave me everything today. And I was like, there should be one more package. They're like, these are the only ones that were there when we went.
Did they give you tracking? Did it say delivered?
It said delivered.
Message to company.
Yeah, it said delivered, but there's nothing there, and it would not have been sitting more than a day, possibly 2, before they got picked up.
All right, let's take it over to the WWE.
Yeah, let's go over to that the horrible place that doesn't know how to do anything. What?
Raw Underground.
Okay, explain it to me, because I know from what I heard, reaction-wise, it's hot fucking trash.
So Raw Underground it's a ring in the back of the arena with no ropes on it, and it's, you know, very little rules. You know, anything goes, kind of shoot fighting look to it, you know, MMA kind of thing. If you watch any of the videos of EC3 where he was kicking the shit out of people before he went over to TNA, to Impact, it looks a lot like that.
It is WWE with, like, a Fight Club sense, because it's kind of like not even a ring. It's
just the mat of the ring.
It's Shane McMahon.
Mm-hmm. Shane O'Mac.
In a warehouse. And it just makes you think of those weird, like, porno wrestlers.
It's interesting. Like, they had Shayna Baszler go in there and kick the crap out of like 3 chicks, and they're introducing talent from NXT on the show. And the first week, the Hurt Business went in there and just beat the shit out of everyone. And and then this week it was Shayna Baszler cleaning out house. Dolph Ziggler's been in there. They had Riddick Moss was in there this week. They brought up a guy named Arturo Juras from NXT. He was actually called up a while ago, but they never used him. And now they are. He's a Brazilian fighter. And this guy, Daba Kato, they're calling him. For anybody who watched that Netflix movie, The Main Event, with the kid with the mask, and he got superpower, luchador powers when he wore the mask. The big guy in there that he was fighting against, that is this Daba Kato guy, and he's dominated 2 weeks that he was there. And Shayna Baszler got in his face. And it was interesting in that regard. I mean, it is what it is. I don't think it's going to last. I really don't. But while it's there, it's interesting. It's got its own merch now. They got their own T-shirt now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not sold on it. It doesn't sound interesting to me at all.
I just think it's funny how Shane McMahon is like calling the action live on a microphone in front of everyone, and he's also kind of doing the referee's job where he's telling them, get him off, that's enough, he's done, and stuff like that. So it's interesting.
Maybe it's got potential. I don't know, but all in all, like from what you've explained to it, from what little bit I've kind of seen ahead of time, I'm just like, this is gimmick that's not very good.
What's his face? Ken Shamrock said if they ever want to legitimize Raw Underground, they have his phone number.
Oh, yes.
A lot of people have been taking shots at it. Like a lot of wrestlers from other companies have been taking big time shots at it.
I'm not surprised, truly. As a throwback to a few weeks ago, and possibly as a way to segue into one of the next topics, apparently when we were last recording, I believe, we were talking about Adam Cole losing his shit on that dude's show.
Pat McAfee.
Yeah. And what came out, apparently that shit was a work.
Yeah. I fell for it. I believed Adam Cole lost his shit.
It seems like it was the real deal, but it's good to know that a good work can still fool a motherfucker nowadays.
All I'm going to say is it just solidified Adam Cole as being a great wrestler.
Agreed.
Yep, and they'll be having a match at NXT 30 is what NXT TakeOver 30 is what it looks like.
Interesting. Is TakeOver 30 going to happen around the same time as SummerSlam, or?
I think it's the day before.
Day before? That's what I was thinking. So that, honestly, there's our segue. Let's hear some SummerSlam talk. Yeah, we can at least talk about the matches.
Well, Randy Orton won't have Ric Flair in his corner. We know that.
Why is that?
I'm sure. He
kicked him in the fucking head.
Really?
Yeah, he was like, "You're a spotlight whore," and kicked him in the head.
Wow. As a part of the gimmick, or do you think it was a legit thing?
Oh, it was a gimmick thing. It's just Randy Orton being Randy Orton. He's playing his best heel character he's done in years. Burning bridges and taking names.
He's taking out legends.
Oh, the legend killers returned.
Yep, his Edge coming back has rejuvenated his career so much. Like, it's fucking unbelievable. He's doing some of his best work he's done in the last 10 years, easily, in my opinion. So, I mean, good for him. I mean, he's a great heel. He's a great heel character. He's somebody that, people love to hate. So, looking forward to see what him and Drew McIntyre are going to put together for SummerSlam.
It could be good. It could be good.
Yeah, I like how Ric Flair during the interview this week was saying, I'm out here backing you. I want you to break my record. Not John Cena's record. I want you, Randy Orton, to break my record. Like, I just like the way he was telling his story during that whole clip, about why he's backing him up. He's like, hey, I'm not the same Ric Flair that I used to be. I'm just Charlotte's father, and yeah, it was pretty crazy. It was pretty gnarly.
Humanized Ric Flair.
Yeah, I heard.
Weird. I don't know how I feel about that. But so what do we have on the card for SummerSlam at least? Let's hear the card and then we'll decide whether we want to talk about how good we think the show will be, and we can save predictions for next week.
All right, first match, Seth Rollins versus Dominic Mysterio. And for anybody who watched Monday night, holy shit. Did Seth Rollins lay in the fucking Dominic Mysterio with that kendo stick or what?
Oh, yeah, I saw those damn photos. Holy God.
I posted the photos of the aftermath that Dominic posted of the welts across his front and his back, because at one point he was getting Murphy from the rear and Rollins from the front, and they were both laying into him. Oh. And those kendo sticks were doing a number on him.
No shit, man.
But I think with that match there, Dominic's going to get the win with a Rey Mysterio interference. But like last night, Rey Mysterio Andrade actually commented on the pictures, and then Rey Mysterio commented on Andrade's, basically saying, "Bastard's gonna get his." Basically, is what he said, something along those lines. I'm rolling with Dominic on that one. I got no problem doing fucking predictions this week unless something drastically changes. That's where I see that one going. Rey Mysterio running, Dominic for the win.
Oh, I'll think on that one a little more. I might make a prediction on a match that really jumps out at me, but as of right now, they're all pretty predictable matches in terms of what was going to show up, not so much what's going to happen in each one.
Yeah. Bayley versus to be determined. I'm sure we'll find out on Friday who she'll be facing. They haven't said yet. Sasha Banks versus Asuka. Apollo Crews versus MVP. Street Profits versus Angel and Andrade. I hope Angel and Andrade take those belts. I really do.
Yeah.
Braun Strowman and Bray Wyatt, The Fiend, for the Universal title. So it's going to be the Monster versus The Fiend.
This will probably be where they put that belt back on The Fiend, sadly.
And then we got Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton.
It's honestly not the most impressive SummerSlam lineup I've ever seen. I'm just looking it over as like, yeah, I'm not hella hyped on any of this. Because even with the amount of casual watching I do with WWE stuff, I can usually get a little more hyped about what they're, doing at a pay-per-view. But looking at this one, it's like, just nothing's like jumping out at me at all.
Okay.
It's one of those, sadly. It's one of those. I mean, next week I'll make some predictions on it, but as of right now, there's not a single match that's being like, oh, I need to talk about it now. It's all like, oh, okay.
Dominic is officially a WWE talent now. He signed the contract in the ring last week.
Oh.
So he's legit now. He official.
Oh boy.
They brought Otis and Mandy back, and Tucker has shown up again. So, yeah, I think they're leaning towards a hair versus hair match with the other chick who was part of Fire and Desire with Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville, because Sonya Deville cut Mandy's hair and jumped her backstage and all this shit. And now she's got like a mom cut. She's rocking a Karen cut. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, it seems like they might be going that route, a little hair versus hair match. I don't know. I know we got Io Shirai versus Dakota Kai.
Okay, let me...
For the belt. And I know they got the 5-man ladder match for the U.S. title. Another injury to report. Dexter Lumis, who was supposed to be in that match, is not going to be in that match anymore. He messed up his ankle during his qualifying match. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't look like he's going to be on there.
Okay, so he's going to get someone to play an audible for him, I guess. Or they're going to.
Well, what they're doing is they're taking the 4 people from the previous matches who did not get pinned.
Okay.
And they're having, 2 of them face off, and then the other 2 face off, and the winners of those 2 will face off, and the one person who wins it all will be entered into that match to replace Dexter Lumis. So there's like Johnny Gargano is in there, Finn Balor is in there. So we'll see what pops up with that on Wednesday. In sad WWE news, we had the passing of one Kamala this week, the Ugandan Giant.
Yeah, that sucks. I mean, honestly, he's been in declining health for years. I think, if I remember correct, he lost both legs to diabetes?
Both legs. Yep.
Yeah. He's been in a chair for a long time. I know Jericho donated some money for healthcare costs, last year, was it?
Last year, he donated $5,000 to help his family keep their house. Mm-hmm. And this year, when he passed, they had the GoFundMe page. Yeah. And he donated $5,000 to that. Scott D'Amore donated $2,500. Another anonymous donor donated $3,000. So, and they're getting lots of love from the wrestling community. Mm-hmm. But just another sad, childhood star of ours, gone.
Yep.
What I think is funny is how they're focusing on the fact that he tested positive for COVID-19, but COVID-19 didn't kill that man. That man was in failing health for years. He had complications from his diabetes, and I think that might have played a bigger part.
That doesn't discount it having a part in it, though.
Mm-hmm. So, all right, so the other people in that ladder match,
okay,
back: Bronson Reed, Damian Priest, Kushida or Cameron Grimes, or TBA versus TBD versus TBD. That's stupid. Okay, so here it is. Due to Loomis's injury, because you originally had Bronson Reed, Dexter Lumis, Damian Priest. Due to Loomis's injury, 2 singles matches will take place to fill Loomis's spot and determine the 5th and final competitor. The wrestlers in those matches were the ones who were not pinned or submitted in the triple threats, which are Balor, Gargano, Ridge Holland, and whoever is not submitted this week, because there's still another qualifying match, which will have Kushida, Grimes, and a mystery opponent. So we don't know who that mystery opponent is yet. So now I understand it better.
Okay,
Bronson Reed, Damian Priest.
Reed, Priest, the mystery, and 2 TBDs.
Well, Bronson Reed, Damian Priest, because there's 5.
Yeah.
So,
if it's Reed, Priest, and the mystery, then we know that the mystery person, they won't announce that until it happens. The other 2 will find out before the event. So we can put those down as a TBD. That's to be determined because we don't know whether it's going to be Kushida or Grimes, and we don't know whether it's going to be Balor or one of those other guys for the last slot. Reed and Priest,
Holland, or Gargano.
Reed and Priest, we know. The mystery, we won't know until day of. So, yeah.
Well, we'll know who that mystery person is on Tuesday, because the mystery person. Yeah, because the mystery person is going to be against Kushida and Cameron Grimes. Those three are going to have a match. Whoever wins that match will be in the ladder match. Then you've got Gargano, Holland, and Gargano, Balor, and Holland. And then whomever doesn't get pinned or submitted in the Kushida, Grimes, and mystery opponent match.
Oh, God.
So those four will wrestle for the 2 spots left.
Jesus Christ, what a dumb fucking way to do things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Become interesting.
Okay. Any other
Pat McAfee versus Adam Cole is confirmed. Triple H issued the challenge on behalf of Cole, and McAfee later accepted in a video. So those are the only 3 matches I'm seeing so far that are in stone.
Okay.
We might see Karrion Kross versus Keith Lee. I don't know what else.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll just leave it at those 3 for now, and then between now and next week, we'll add the rest to it, and next week will be our big prediction episode.
Yeah, this NXT Takeover was actually supposed to be NXT Takeover Boston, but because of the world as we know it, that shit ain't happening.
Not for a while, anyway. On a lighter note, and in more happier news, R-Truth is 24/7 title champion for what number of times?
38. He got his baby back for the 38th time.
Oh, God.
Impact Wrestling took a shot at the 24/7 title last week. It was pretty funny. What the hell is that kid's name? The announcer for Impact, Josh Matthews.
I should know it's Todd Matthews. I hate Todd Matthews. He was the one that went out and like, whatever. He's came out and was like, I'm the best. I'm the best announcer there is. I'm the best in the business. He's such a piece of shit.
He's married to Madison Rayne. So I think it's funny because they're always talking shit about each other. But yeah, so he's announcing one of the new wrestlers. I think it was Heath that he was talking about, and he's like, "Yeah, this guy's a former tag team champion so many times, a former 24/7 champion, whatever the hell that is." I was just like, "That's funny."
That is pretty good. That leaves us a good transition over to Impact. Most of it's been just Impact being Impact, from what I've heard. But on harkening back to our super serious episode and our decision that Joey Ryan's a giant douche nozzle now, apparently Joey Ryan is back on Twitter.
Yeah, he reposted a picture of himself on Twitter where he's clean shaven, he's got a haircut. It's a new Twitter account, so it's all blanked out. There's nothing there, but he's surfacing again, and with indie promotions starting up again, there's always a chance that somebody might pick him up.
If they pick him up, I guarantee you it's just going to be for that cheap heat. It's not going to be for anything other than that. They just want to get, a buzz for their promotion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
That is it. Because other than that, I mean, any promotion with any sense, unless it came out that he was kind of fighting those allegations, didn't it?
Yeah, he said he was thinking about, he was under advice from a therapist and a lawyer, and he might be combating some of the charges pressed against, or well, not even charges, just allegations. Because, I mean, that's the thing. He was never found guilty of anything. There was no trial. There was no nothing. There was just somebody, a couple of somebodies saying that he did this, that, and the other thing. But I mean, there's no, there's no evidence. There's nothing, and the last time I checked, we were supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. And there has been no trial against this man. Nothing.
Well, that's
you don't need a trial in the court of public opinion.
You're leaving out the most important part. In a court of law.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is. Not social justice court. Court of law.
The court of public opinion knows no rules.
Well,
public
opinion sucks balls because people are going to read and believe whatever's fucking juiciest. Do I think Joey Ryan is, this gigantic sleazeball that everyone's accused? Well, not everyone, but some people are accusing him of. I don't think so. That's just my opinion. It differs from other people on this panel. I know this.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I see it as being fairly likely, but at the same time, who knows? Who knows? It may have been consensual at the time, and then afterwards they changed him up. I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know. But I like Joey Ryan, and I'm having a hard time with that one also. Well, maybe we'll find out eventually. Hopefully in the grand scheme of things, hopefully it's one of those situations to where it was a giant, misunderstanding type of deal or something like that. It's not the super negative thing that everyone thinks it is, but only time will tell. We just know that with the character that he plays, that's going to color people's opinion. And then also, just the fact that once people start throwing in those sorts of allegations, most people's careers are pretty well donezo after that.
Yeah, like I said, I dig Joey. I hope this shit's not true. I hope we see him again, even if it's not the sleazeball Joey Ryan that he used to be. His character, I loved his character. I loved Dong Style. I thought everything that he did was fucking hysterical. So I was on board.
Yep. Fingers crossed. I enjoyed seeing him come out at All In. I enjoyed all those BTE episodes as well. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll keep everyone appraised. But tentatively, we don't know. And let's hope he's not a giant sleazebag.
I hope so. I got your back, Joey.
If you're not bad. If you're bad, I drop you.
Yeah, that's just real, and you were for real using your power and influence to get on the sticky icky. Then yeah, we got problems.
Mm-hmm. We're just frowned upon. But other news. Let's see. Eric Young. What was it? He was trashing people, huh?
Who was that?
Eric Young. What he doing? He's looking good right now, right?
Young is running roughshod over in Impact. He came last week. The week before at Slammiversary, he attacked Rich Swann and messed him up pretty bad. And so this week, Rich Swann was announcing his retirement, basically, and Eric Young attacked him and beat his ass real bad. So he's, I don't know if they're setting up for Rich Swann to come back and fight Eric Young or what, but the world-class maniac is making his name known back in Impact. He is doing his thing.
That is, honestly, it's pretty cool that he's getting some push over there,
Mm-hmm.
And not getting the shaft like he was in WWE. I'm glad, like a lot of those dudes who were unceremoniously, cut loose are already, making waves in the places that they went.
Brian Myers had a title match tonight against friggin' Eddie Edwards.
See,
Eddie Edwards is doing like an open challenge kind of thing, and Brian Myers came out and accepted the challenge. So he had his first match on AEW tonight against Eddie Edwards. He lost, but he got a fucking title match already.
Hey, I mean, it's what it is, right?
The Good Brothers, I don't know if they'll be getting the belts anytime soon, but they're making an impact. They had their shitty pay-per-view, Talking Shopomania, last week or the week before, whatever it was, and it was a beautiful disaster from what I've heard. I haven't watched it because I just haven't, but I read all about it and all the matches on it and stuff like that, and it sounded quasi-entertaining, very what the fuck is going on here kind of thing. Sex Ferguson versus the other guy in a boner yard match, and yeah, it was pretty nuts from what I read. a lot of cameos. Chavo Guerrero was there. He's on commentary. Then he jumps in the ring. They did a social distancing battle royal.
It sounds like they're hitting all of like a parody of all the high notes from the past like 5 months, really. Mm-hmm. Because I mean, the social, like if they're doing a social distancing battle royal, that sounds like they're playing off of fucking Janela and his social distancing match from back in the spring. They're making fun of one of their last supposed appearances with the Boneyard match at is that Mania?
Yeah, the Boneyard match with AJ Styles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And this is Chad Too Bad, which is Carl Anderson, and Sex Ferguson. The main event was them in a Boneyard match. Rocky Romero was there. Teddy Long was there. Teddy Long says, he's here to get motherfucking paid. Now back up 6 feet.
That's great.
They made a joke about Paul Layman damn near ruining their careers. Instead of Paul Heyman, Paul Layman. Mm-hmm. The social distancing battle royal. Jake Manning came out. Some guy named Freight Train, Chavo Guerrero. Fucking Gallows on commentaries telling them, just hit him in the cock. They had a guy come out dressed like Sting. They called him Stang, S-T-A-N-G. He showed up with a bat. Yeah, he showed up with a bat and just pointed and then left. Mike Bennett joined the match. He jumped out of his own after looking around. Freight Train won the match. Alec Kozlov walked out. Some bearded mother ran down and beat the piss out of him. And then a masked man named Chico stunned the mother and threw her out of the ring. And then Chavo said he's going to shoot and kill that guy. They did a bit with Mike Bennett trying to sell Sex Ferguson drugs. Some guy named Frankie Coverdale versus Nature Boy Paul Lee in a contract on a tree match. This guy looks super out of shape, this Nature Boy. It's a Ric Flair parody. He looks like Ric Flair, but like super overweight and stuff.
That's funny.
And during the match, they got out of the ring and went over by the pond. And this all took place on Luke Gallows' property. And he's like, the pond isn't even on my property. Chico the Luchador cut a promo on Chavo, and then Chavo threatened to shoot and kill the guy. And then a bullet missed Chico. They showed Chavo on a grassy knoll with a gun.
God damn.
George North versus Stump Kowalski. Yeah, the match was a mess. They fought next to Luke Gallows' pool. They brought up into the house and they found Brian Myers on the floor playing with toys. and he kicked him out for getting too close to the vintage Hasbros. They had a match between 80s Russians versus Jungle Kittens. So they had two guys dressed up like 80s Russians in the singlets, beating some kittens. The kittens beat up the Russians a little bit, and the Russians turned things around. Stiff clothesline, the 80s Russians won. The flock showed up, Lodi and Sick Boy, and Reese showed up with the sign that says, yes, we're still alive. And then D'Lo, fuck you, D'Lo, came out and hit a lowdown on a Russian. Rhino came out, hit a gore on another Russian. Brian Pillman Jr. came out, hit one of the kittens, then a drop kick on an 80s Russian. Then Chavo came out riding Pepe. You guys remember Pepe, the stick horse that he had?
Yes.
And then Willie Mack came out and just hit stunners on everyone. Willie and Chavo drank beers. And then they had a match between Rory Fox and Swoggle Donna as a grudge match. And all the Good Brothers could do during this match was talk about Rory Fox's dick. Fox called out Matt Cardona and he said Brian Myers came out and he dropped a bunch of F-bombs. He said contractually he couldn't be there, but he's got another star for him. And then he introduced Swoggle Donna, which is obviously Swoggle. And then Swoggle wound up winning with some shenanigans from Hawkins. There was a hardcore match going on where they were on the water slide going into the pool. And then Chico, the luchador, was lifting weights with no weights on the bar. Chavo showed up and jumped him, locked Chico in a sweat box. And he says, it's not as hot as your mom. But Chavo pinned Chico and won the Talking Shop 24/7 title. And then he said, he left saying he was going to have sex all over his championship. Knock it Page there. And then Chad Too Bad hit Chavo with the title and won it. And then Enzo came out and said he forgot what he was going to say. He said that Gallows isn't going to make a dime on this show. And he said that last night there was a dildo sticking out of the mud. So yeah, he was just stupid and looking pissed. The Boneyard match, Chad Too Bad won it. There was a lot of shit that went on there. A lot of people showed up. Maria Kanellis showed up during the match. Mike Bennett showed up at the match. They yelled about their dicks a lot. Keith Slater and Brian Myers were on chairs watching the fight. The Rock and Roll Express showed up. And they're like, what are you jobless sons of bitches doing? Enzo took a kick and a bump through a table. Johnny Swinger showed up. And Sex called him out for stealing his gimmick. Swinger wanted his payday. Chad hit a punch, and then Sex Ferguson fell between Heath Slater's legs. Chad nails a karate kick and goes, I do fucking karate!
Jesus.
Oh, man. And they showed a clip of the Young Bucks showing up at the door saying that they were signing with AEW back in September of 2019. So they went into like a dream segment match there. And Matt's like, what if the world ends? What if there's a pandemic? Hyperly speaking, do you think they'll have you back? They were talking about WWE. But then that went away, and the Young Bucks called them marks. And super kicked them and said they'll probably end up in TNA anyway. They woke up in their flashback, and they're still going at it in a dirt pit and everything. And Chad said, I love you, and he put Sex Ferguson in a grave with another shot to the head, and then he buried him. And he goes, oh, you're burying a lie? He asked. No shit, that's how you win the match, dumbass. And then after the match, Sex Ferguson got out of the grave
wearing a hockey mask. To
Oh.
be continued. So they've totally made fun of everything right up to the horror show, basically, with Braun Strowman or the Fiend coming out of the water like Jason. You had Sex Ferguson coming out like Jason also.
That's great. Honestly, like, even if that was supposedly a shit show, that is the most amazing train wreck I've ever heard of.
I'm really, like, reading it now for the second time, and I paraphrased a lot of it, but I might actually pony up or try and find a place to watch it online free, because that just sounds schlocky entertaining.
It does. It really
And I'm
does.
about that. I am about that.
Fingers crossed. I hope to find that as well. But in terms of, they've got Impact has another pay-per-view coming up pretty much. 2-night event, Emergence, correct?
Emergence on the 18th and the...
If it's 2 nights, is it 2 nights on opposite weeks, or are they back-to-back? Because that'd just be the 18th and 19th or 17th.
I got it right here. It's next Tuesday. Now it's saying it's one night. What the hell? Impact Wrestling will present their Emergence next to... Okay, Impact Wrestling Emergence full card for night 1. So it is a 2-night event. Night 1 is going to take place on the on Tuesday, the 18th. And then the following week, the 25th, will be night 2.
Okay.
So matches announced so far. Eddie Edwards versus to be announced for the Impact World Championship match. Impact World Tag Team Champion match is going to happen with the Motor City Machine Guns. They haven't said who yet. X Division Championship match, Chris Bay versus TJP versus Rohit Raju. TNA World Heavyweight Championship match, Moose versus Trey Miguel. They're doing this thing over there called Wrestle House, which is like a reality wrestling show, kind of like the one that the WWE did. But it's totally fake, and they have matches in there and stuff. So Kylie Ray is going to have a match against Taya Valkyrie in a Wrestle House match. And then the Good Brothers versus Ace Austin and Mad Mental. The only thing booked for night 2 so far is a 30-minute Iron Woman match between Deonna Purrazzo and Jordan Grace.
So New Japan, like last time we spoke about anything Summer Struggle had started, it's already in like night 9 or 10 now. So going all the way back and recapping 9 or 10 nights worth of wrestling isn't conducive to what we're doing. So I'm just going to shore everything up and go with the biggest news to come out of Summer Struggle so far. They've finally announced the new Never Openweight 6-man tag champs since the last team had to drop the belts. The current team now, after defeating Okada and company, is Yoshihashi, Ishii, and Hiroki Goto. They are the new 6-man Never Openweight tag champs. And this is Yoshihashi's first belt in New Japan, and he is super stoked on it.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, even if it's one of like the less prestigious belts, it's still cool that the man's finally got a belt put next to his name. Also, New Japan USA, they are running their own New Japan Cup. You know, a couple weeks ago, earlier in the summer, New Japan Cup ran and capped off, and now the American end of it. So all the performers for New Japan that are stuck stateside due to the pandemic and travel restrictions, they had their own mini version of the New Japan Cup. There's only 8 competitors. Night 1 was about 4 nights ago on the 7th. You had Carl Fredericks versus Kenta, Jeff Cobb versus Tonga Loa, David Finlay versus Chase Owens, and Brody King versus Tama Tonga. So, the short and long of it, Kenta moves on to the semifinals. He beat Carl Fredericks. Jeff Cobb moves on to the semifinals. He beat Tonga Loa. David Finlay beat Chase Owens. And Tama Tonga beat Brody King. So, in the semifinals, you've got Kenta versus Jeff Cobb, and Finlay versus the good bad guy.
There you go.
So that's a pretty solid semifinal lineup. If I were going to make a decent enough prediction, I'd say you're going to have Kenta and Finlay in the finals. Because this right here is for a shot at Moxley's U.S. title belt.
Yes.
So I honestly think in that regard, they're going to try and probably put Kenta, who's one of their big draws, against Finlay, who's Juice Robinson's tag buddy. And since Juice isn't in this, maybe try and play up some sort of angle where Finlay's almost like a proxy for Juice going after Moxley, even though their storyline came to a close.
Yes.
It still could be, kind of almost I'm going to get you back from a buddy type of angle, but I still feel like they'll put Kenta over. And then that'll give Bullet Club stateside yet another belt.
Yes.
And that'll make them look even more stacked, because coming up pretty soon during Summer Struggle, you've got Hiromu versus Ishimori. Yeah, it's going to be good stuff. I'm going to have to catch up on a lot of things. I'll probably try and watch the next night of this, which should be next week. Or this week, it seems. So I think the final's going to be Kenta versus Finlay.
Yeah, I could see that. Kenta versus Finlay, with Kenta getting the win. Bullet Club for life. And then Kenta gets the win over Mox just to take the belt off of him and bring it back to Japan.
That's exactly what I said, basically.
All right. Well, we'll both be wrong.
Probably. It'll be Kenta versus Tamatanga.
There you go.
It'll be wild stuff.
Completely off.
Yeah. Jeff Cobb's going to fight John Moxley for the belt.
So didn't we see that match?
Maybe. Oh,
At
yeah,
EW?
yeah, we did. Ooh, I mean, who knows? But I'm still standing by my initial statement. I think Kenta's going to get it just so that way it makes Bullet Club look even more stacked.
Mm-hmm.
Have some belts on their guys stuck in the U.S., and then just Bullet Club loaded down with gold again like the long ago days.
Terrific. But, I mean, you also got Evil, who is now, quote-unquote, the new leader of Bullet Club. Kenta or Tamatanga could easily be his number 2.
Yeah.
Belt is number 2.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, we haven't heard anything out of Jay White in a while. I really, really don't know what's going on there. I honestly, with as little as I've heard about it, I feel like Jay's going to be out the door at New Japan.
Jay's going to be coming to NXT.
Oh, yeah?
It's been talked about. It's been discussed. They might be doing it behind the scenes or some shit like that, but I got a strong feeling that on the sly he's going to come into NXT or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I mean, there's not been much talk about anything else. Like I knew Jay. Honestly, if he doesn't go, I'll be surprised. But I feel like him going is going to be more likely than anything else. And I kind of always felt Jay, even though it was cool that he joined Bullet Club in the way that he did, he's never really been, a true club member, if you will, a team player. He's just been Jay White with a Bullet Club shirt.
Yep. And Gato.
And Gato, who was just Jay White's little
Bullet Club fodder.
His little lapdog. But that's what I'm thinking. I mean, and that's pretty much everything outside of some of the injuries we've talked about already. I mean, Josh Alexander apparently still works a day job, and he gashed up his dome pretty hard doing whatever installation work that he does. You already mentioned
kind of installer.
Yeah. You just mentioned Dexter Loomis's ankle a little while ago, and then Yo, who we mentioned back in July, having messed up his shoulder pretty bad. He still has no return date in sight. So, yeah, We don't know when Yo's going to be back and Roppongi 3K is going to rejoin. But as of right now, show has been, going pretty well with Chaos and doing stuff over there. So it's not been bad.
He's doing this solo thing like Big E.
Yeah, exactly. He's been doing good at it, too. They've been making him look good in all of his matches. And then...
Britt Baker's still supposed to be back for All Out.
Yeah, she's still coming back. She's not got a surgery coming up, does she?
She just had surgery. She had nose
surgery. That's it.
And the leg. Something with the leg, and then... Yeah, because she had the leg injury, and then she had the nose job. And they used her getting hit in the nose by... whoever the hell it was, Rebel or whatnot. They actually finally mentioned that Rebel has a past in wrestling. They didn't say what it was, but this last week on Raw, on Dynamite, they made mention that she was a wrestler because she had to wrestle Big Swole. Josh Alexander works as an insulator as his day job.
Ah, I see.
And he knocked his head on something and busted. He's got a big old wound on the top of his head. But they don't have any matches booked. The North coming up right now, so he can afford a head injury.
We were mentioning that this week. We've had a few people pass away in the wrestling world other than Kamala. You had Jaguar VJ Singh, who was a 4-time Apocalypse Wrestling Federation champion. He passed away from a heart attack.
46 years old.
46, yep.
46. You're younger than me.
So, condolences there. Granted, I'm not familiar with the work. I mean, it's someone in the business, and we're trying to cover as much of the business as possible. So, condolences to his family. And then, Marvelous Mitch Ryder also passed away at the age of 48.
A year older than me. Man, I'm right in the middle.
He's competed with Chikara, Combat Zone, and Coliseum Championship Wrestling, and also he did some enhancement talent work with WCW up against Cactus Jack and Rick Rude back in the day. Additionally, he helped train Drew Gulak and Chris Hero.
Nice.
So
second Chris Hero reference on this show.
Yes. And apparently he gave Lince Dorado his first outside booking.
Oh, nice.
And so he got a shout out from Lince Dorado as well. So, apparently, I may not have been familiar with either one of them, but they had enough in the business to, as one would hope if you've been in the business for a long time, like both of those guys, that you would be, well remembered. And it seems like both will be that.
Yeah, they've touched enough people that, people that we know of have worked with them in some way or fashion. So, that's an influence on the business. You left a mark, even if it's only training up somebody or giving somebody their first break or whatever the case may be.
Yep, or working for a company just to help get over like newly acquired talent, that sort of thing. No one ever likes to see people pass away, but that 3 in 1 week, regardless of past levels of fame, are that's pretty wild stuff. But let's not end on a downer. We'll be back next week.
If you're feeling down, listen to Ann the Polar, and you will not feel so down. That band is fucking awesome, and everyone should listen to them. You should listen to them and then tell your friends to listen to them. And the Polar.
They are fun guys. Eventually, we will have our scheduling work out to where we will get their boy Chappell on here, who's a big wrestling fan, and he'll shoot the breeze with us about all this fun stuff about dudes slinging each other up against ropes and doing fancy moves. So, hopefully, pretty soon, we'll have another little crossover podcast. I know I was on theirs a while back, and it was a lot of fun. Hopefully I can get someone from theirs on ours, and it'll be a ton of fun.
We technically have had somebody from theirs on ours.
Oh, yeah, I forgot Sit-In Night. It's
as
in my mind.
a silent partner.
Yes, we were in trouble.
Yeah. We're making too much background noise, and
yeah, we were being unprofessional. He had to come.
We were being policed up.
I don't know what you mean by we, but I am 100% professional every episode.
I'm a consummate professional, he says.
Yeah, fuck you both.
One more time, check out our boys and the Polar Falcon. Tell he's the best. He's the best editor ever. Get him your businesses.
Yes, he is the ish.
Yes, get him your businesses. Go listen to the Polar Podcast. It's top shelf. Top shelf, like us. Only the finest quality. Only they're much more professional.
Yeah, someday he'll be my bass player. It'll happen.
John's gonna make it
Bring him out
happen.
to Colorado.
John's working all the chaos magic he can. He's putting that idea into the cosmos, and it will provide.
If I put it out in the world, that's what they keep saying on Naked and Afraid. I've been watching a lot of Naked and Afraid. If you just put it out there into the earth, it'll happen. So I'm putting that out there, Falcon. You're gonna be my fucking bass player.
Well, John,
beautiful music.
If you're just putting it out there in the earth, I guarantee you're going to get ant bites. Because that's dangerous.
Because that's how you get ants.
Yes, it's how you get ants.
But it's another great week of talking about wrestling. You guys are the only people I can talk to about this shit. Everyone else just thinks I'm fucking weird. So I appreciate being able to do the podcast to talk about wrestling. And hey, maybe some people will listen. Maybe some people will enjoy it. Maybe some people will make fun of me. I don't fucking know. But I'm having a great time doing this.
Oh, yeah, indeed. I'm having loads of fun.
All right, gentlemen, I'm going to sign off and go play with my puppy and put my daughter to bed. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this has been another outstanding, action-packed, in-your-freaking-face episode of Post to Post Wrestling, brought to you by the Brothers of Discussion, Will and Grayson, and me. I'm Drummer John. For all of us to all of you, you have a wonderful night.
And don't forget our sponsors of Blue Chew and Omaha Steaks.
That was probably the best outro we've ever had.